Question, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, passed unanimously. Consent agenda item 5, 6, 7, and 8.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, passed unanimously. Is there anyone here for open forum? Anyone around for open forum? All right, the most important general business there is, number 9.
Motion to table?
Goodbye and good riddance, right? No, on behalf, yeah, perfect, yeah. On behalf of the board.
Don't drop it.
Metro Bus, I should say.
Jeez. You're
Thank
done.
you, Rick Miller.
All right,
You know, we're a government agency, so we can't give you a check, but we can give you a picture.
there you go.
Oh, it's a tough picture, too.
That's the best looking picture. It's got a number underneath there.
But thank you for your years of service to Metro Bus.
All right,
As
thank
vice chair, thank you for what you do for the community of Way Park for all these years. Being a mayor, and thank you for everything that you've done for Metro Bus to
All
get
right.
us where we are today. We're gonna miss you, but we know you're leaving us in good hands with your buddy there, Ken.
Yep, Mr. Schmidt,
Yeah,
yep.
we'll just put his picture up there soon, but we want to give this to you and thank you for your service.
All right, thank you.
And you know where to find us. We gotta do a picture. Yeah, we gotta do a picture.
We gotta do a
Yeah,
picture?
we gotta picture with the picture.
All right.
You know, Nate has a
Did
camera
we
ready.
approve that
gotta
he
go
gets
down there, too.
lifetime rides, too?
Yes, and you get lifetime rides.
Yeah.
As a Metro Bus
Yeah, we
commissioner.
did do that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You have your ID? Take your grandkid on the bus?
Yeah, you finally gave me one after all those years. You didn't think I was gonna stick around that long.
Stand next to Stripper.
Come on, team.
Come on.
I mean, you should get everybody. Come on, everybody.
I learned.
Ken, Mike, Gary, you guys are here? Debbie? No?
Smiles, everyone, please.
Yeah. Yeah, pop up.
Perfect, thank you.
All right.
Yeah, congratulations again. Yep. If you lose your ID, just walk with that picture on the bus.
Yeah. There you go. Get back there.
Congratulations, Rick.
Yes.
Thank you.
Congrats,
All right.
Rick.
Item 10, consideration of HR policy updates, Chapter
Before-
9,
if I
leaves
may-
of absence.
Vice Chair, I'm sorry, Dave Kleiss is on.
Okay, Dave Price has now joined us. Item-
Actually, I've been joining you the whole time, but I can't see a photo though.
Ah, yeah, well,
I'm not giving the video, but I've been on since the beginning. Now I'm seeing something, all right there.
there you go. All right, Sonny?
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Just a addition to our vacation policy, section 9.2.5, request for vacation leave cash out. This added language will provide an annual opportunity for non-union employees to request a cash out of their vacation balance. There's several criteria that has to be met to be able to do that. But it does, it's more consistent with our current contract language for our union employees. They have the opportunity every pay period, if they hit their maximum, their vacation is paid out. So just trying to kind of bridge the gap a little bit between union and non-union employees.
All
Any
right.
questions?
No.
Makes it a lot easier to keep track of, too.
Need a motion to approve that?
Motion to
Yes,
approve?
Second.
Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Passed unanimously. Item 11, consideration of procurement policy update. Gary?
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Chair, Commissioners. As a component of our recent FTA training review, it was discovered that there was a modification that was outlined in some FTA procurement guidelines requiring an independent cost estimate for any contract change order that exceeded the simplified acquisition threshold, which in Metro Bus's case is $175,000. That was an oversight on our part as part of a contract adjustment that we had done. The recommended corrective action from the FTA was to update our procurement policies. So that language is now included as part of our policy and will be in place going forward, pending approval from the board.
All right, any questions for Gary?
Nope.
Motion to approve?
So, second.
Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Passed unanimously. Item 12, consideration of fiscal year 2026 final budget and tax levy. Nate?
Good evening, Commissioners. In May of last month, the prelim was brought forward, and right now we're bringing forward the final budget, and there are currently no changes to that.
All right. Somebody want to move to approve that?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
I don't know if it's, Dave, was your aye a for or against?
It was 4, it was probably a little delay.
Delay.
Yeah, okay, all right,
Good clarification.
Affirmative.
Yeah, good one.
all right. But I got one no, right?
4-1.
Yep.
So it passes 4-1. Item 13, Resolution 2025-06, setting final levy on taxable property in transit area. Nene again.
Yes. So similar to last month too, this, last month we brought forward the prelim, and then this month we're bringing up the final. We had 30 days for we had 30 days to review and see if there were any changes. We didn't get any changes, so we're bringing up the final for approval.
All right. Somebody want to move to that?
So moved.
Second.
Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed unanimously. Item 14, Resolution 2025-07, MnDOT authorizing resolution for calendar year 2026 North Star Link.
So we held up bringing this North Star Link last month when we brought the fixed ride and dial ride, because we needed to figure out if North Star was going to operate or not. Further conversation with MnDOT, they said we should go ahead and submit a budget for the North Star Link, and this is a resolution stating that we communicated with the RRAs and we'll be providing 20% of the local match for the North Star services.
Okay. Somebody want to move to approve that?
So moved.
Question.
Oh, go ahead. Let me get a second first.
Oh, second.
Okay, now discussion.
Okay, sorry. I was just curious, is the North Star, will it end the end of this calendar year? Or is it continue, the North Star train, will it end the end of this year? Is that,
Okay.
I'll take that question.
okay,
So as of right now, the process is, what's been communicated to the public down in the city is that North Star will end December 31st, but that could change. So right now, they're not 100% sure that it will end December 31st. It may slightly go into next year, maybe first quarter of 2026. So that's part of the reason why MnDOT wants us to submit a budget in the event that the train does operate beyond December 31st, that Metrobus will still be in a position to operate the bus service as it is today until they officially turn the lights off, and then we could stop service at that time. But it will be no cost to Metrobus. It'll be the 80% coming from MnDOT and then 20% coming from for the 3 counties that we have a contract with. So it'll be Stearns County, Hennepin County, and Sherman County.
okay. Thanks for that clarification.
You're welcome.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I was waiting for Clay. Passed unanimously. Item 15, Resolution 2025-08, authorization to apply for the low, no grant and provide the local match for the purchase of 23 Class 700 CNG low-floor vehicles. Again, Nene.
So the loan application came out last month and is due in July. Metrobus we will be submitting a grant application. We're working with the APOs to write that grant. And if awarded the grant at the NOFO, we are supposed to provide at least 20% of the local match. Right now, based off of the current market, to purchase the 23 buses will be totaling at about 19.1 million. Our local match portion will be 3.8 million. And if awarded the grant, the federal portion will be at about 15.3. So part of the attachment or requirement for the grant is we're supposed to submit and show that we will be providing 20% local match. So this is a resolution to show that Metrobus is agreeing to provide 20% local match if awarded the grant.
Any questions, commissioners? Yep, Dave?
You know, at one time I thought there was discussion that they would be staggered there wouldn't be 21 buses at one time. That's
So
still-
we have two options. If MnDOT funds it, we will stagger it out because MnDOT will be funding the purchases and they don't have 15 million to fund all 23 buses. So we have it in our CIP that if MnDOT is gonna fund this, then we'll stagger it out 5, 7, 9 till we are done with the 23. But then if you're gonna apply for the grant, we might as well just go in and go, hey, this is what we need. But during the webinar, they said we have a min and a max. But so the max is to hold the 23 buses. If we are giving the grant, depending on if we make it, they might decide to fund one, they might decide to fund all 23. But we're gonna go on the assumption that if they're funding all 23, we have the 3.8 million for the local match. But they decide to fund just one bus, then we still have a local match for that one bus. And one cost for one vehicle is $833,000.
Okay. Thanks.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Passed unanimously. Item
have a
16.
I don't think we have one.
We should do a motion
Did
for
we
that.
have a motion?
I did.
I'll make a motion.
Oh, no, we
No,
did. Wait,
I'll
I
make
went
a
to
motion.
discussion
Yeah, I'll make
first,
the
then we
motion.
did that one.
Okay.
All right. Now we got to pass.
It's your last, no one's gonna fault you.
Yeah.
No, what the heck?
It's ready to go.
Yeah.
You can shun me.
Recoup.
Take
Yeah,
your picture
Rick,
back.
Who was that guy that sat there?
Yeah, give me that picture.
Item 16, community outreach update. Debbie?
I'm going to entertain you with some photos again.
Perfect.
Well, PowerPoint, no photos this time around, I guess. Thank you.
It's getting fancy.
Okay. So I'm excited, we have somebody new here, so I get to talk about the Mobility Training Center. Mr. Smith, is that right? I'm Debbie Anderson, and I manage the Mobility Training Center downtown St. Cloud. I've actually been working at Metrobus and facilitating the community outreach and travel training and paratransit eligibility for 16 years. Can't believe it. But anyway, we have the Mobility Training Center downtown St. Cloud, and we are a resource for all of our surrounding areas, St. Cloud, Stock Rapids, Saratoga, and Wake Park. I have fabulous young staff. Okay.
How many people does it take to run a PowerPoint?
All right, am I able to forward?
Yep.
Yay, all right.
Highly paid.
So the Mobility Training Center is open from 9 until 3, Monday through Friday. And we assist with transportation questions. A lot of individuals come in, they're new to the area, they've ridden public transportation in other cities, and they want to learn how to utilize our service. We can also take time to explain how to ride the bus, how to read schedules, show where the bus will take you. And we also have fares for the agencies that we contract with, and we can talk about our dial-a-ride services. So for purposes of this PowerPoint, I took a look back from a year ago. So year to date, we have served 327 people that have come in and asked questions about our community outreach, dial-a-ride eligibility, and our bus pass sales to our agencies and supportive services. So for our dial-a-ride program, year to date, we've approved 491 new individuals for our dial-a-ride paratransit service. We've conducted 410 in-person interviews and 23 assessments. So when somebody applies for dial-a-ride, it's a paper application, but we bring most people in and we do an in-person interview. For those folks that are applying for a temporary service, we don't typically bring them in unless they're using a mobility device where we have to weigh and measure that wheelchair. So we're averaging about 41 new approvals per month. No one from dial-a-ride is in here to go, oh, yeah. We're doing our best. Our community outreach program, we continue to be real excited about that. Year to date, we've participated in 191 community outreach activities, And we've connected with over 4,000 individuals answering questions about our service. We work with over 50 referral sites throughout our community. I've listed a few of them here. School districts, senior centers, Lutheran Social Services, Catholic Charities, Immigrant Refugee Services, employment, local group homes. We participate in multiple community events and fairs. We work with our veterans and Anna Marie's. Many more than that, but that's just kind of a sampling. New for last year, we've worked with some new agencies. The Elevate Pregnancy Resource Center, Networking Mingle, SCTCC has a new chill and grill. The Christian school invited us out for their big truck days. That was fun. The Deaf and Blind and Hard of Hearing Resource Fair, Archangels, My Path Coach Consulting, Arrive Ministries, and you can read the rest. What our community outreach does for us is we go out and, depending on what the site is, we'll do an overview of services, how to read the schedule, put routes together, talk about our fairs. But most often when we go out to a site, we bring our resources and we're able to leave them there for folks to utilize at a later time. But once we're out in the community and people hear about us and they're able to talk with us, that's a lot of times where our travel training resources come from. So monthly, we continue to go into the transitional housing sites. Those sites have individuals that turn over every 30 to 60 to 90 days. So we'll go over and we'll do an overview of how to ride the bus, essentially. And from there, if people have more questions and they want to schedule travel training, we'll come back and we'll do that at a later time. We really find that getting the people on the bus for the first time is where our successes lie. We also continue to participate in a number of committees and partnerships monthly within our community. I won't read them to you, but again, these are service providers that come together for mental health reasons, suicide prevention, recovery networks, senior programs, and FHPP is our homeless prevention assistant program. But at any time, you're going to have 15 to 42 providers there. We get an opportunity to network. We get an opportunity to provide updates to what's going on at Metro Bus and share our services. And again, most often talk about our travel training program. So what is travel training? Travel training is an individualized training for our general public, the U's and I's, our non-English speaking individuals, our senior population, and those with physical, cognitive, or any type of a disability. We travel train. We are very blessed to have talented staff that are bilingual in English, English, Spanish, and Somali. And we often will work with translation services if it's another language. But we also rely on friends and family to go with during those trainings for non-English speaking individuals and help with that translation bridge whenever necessary. Travel training can be done one-on-one. We offer it in small group and in large group settings. So we'll take a group of 32 individuals out on a bus. And by that, a lot of times it's the trainer, and that is working with support staff to teach them how to ride the bus. So when their consumers need services, they're comfortable talking about riding the bus and how to read the schedule and what bus it might take them to get from point A to point B. So year to date, we've travel trained 571 individuals. We've provided 1,700 rides on the buses. So often people don't just go out one time with a trainer. It might take a couple times till they're comfortable and independent to do so. We've worked with we've provided 350, or rode with 350 individuals with disabilities, 66 trips with elderly, 530 with adults, youth, and children. So it's all ages that we're helping. So out of those 571 individuals, we have 39 individuals that are now riding the fixed route independently or with a caregiver. They have some type of a disability that with travel training, they're able to do so. This is really significant because the more individuals we can keep off of our paratransit and onto the fixed route, it's a significant savings in operation compared to, and utilizing the fixed route compared to the dial-a-ride. So some of our folks might ride the bus twice a week, fixed route, and the other rides they might be using dial-a-ride depending on what their disability might be. And lastly, we look forward to visiting the Mobility Training Center. Come down and we'll give you a tour. We do in-person interviews, like I said, with our dial-a-ride eligibility process. We have a simulated streetlight environment with Ryan's stoplight down there. But it's got all the skills that are needed to ride in the bus. And we assess folks to make sure they're independent when they're out there on the streets and using the fixed route. And if not, maybe some trips are more appropriate on their dial-a-ride.
Commissioners, got any questions, comments? Dave?
I just wanted to, commend you on your work. I work with youth that use that program, and I know last fall we went down to the Transit Training Center and walked through how to get on the bus and do those things. And then Nick, is that correct? He came out to our school and helped the students, with whether they're eligible for dial-a-ride or not, and then how do they go about, using dial-a-ride, the dialogue, and all the different steps. And I myself learned a lot, because I had never done that before either. So, but just impressed with how polite, respectful, how well they conveyed that information, And then the drivers themselves, when we've ridden on the dial-a-ride and on the Metro bus, the drivers are very courteous. We had a young lady in a wheelchair. They took their extra time to, get that person buckled in and do all that. So again, thank you for your work, and has a big impact on young people who need that service.
Well, and for us, though, the schools, whenever we can get in and work with the school age, we work with a lot of the transition, the 18 to 21 bridge programs. But a lot of those care providers or mom and dad are very reluctant to public transportation. So if we can get the kids excited about it and exposed to it and share some stories, it's a little bit easier when they transition into a group home and they're coming in to apply for services or travel train.
All right. Anything else for Debbie? All right, thanks. Got anything else? All right, then we are adjourned at 4:23.